I give you both instructions. Just want to remind you to listen and follow my commands all the time. Protect yourself all the time. Fight hard, fight clean. Good luck to both of you.
Jack Reese, the third man in the ring as we are ready to go in our main event at the Belasco Theater in downtown Los Angeles. Emilio Sanchez in the green, 16-1 from Pomona. The last time he was in the ring at Fancy Springs Resort Casino, he was knocked out by a veteran Filipino. They were going back and forth, traded punches. He got caught so bad that when he woke up, he was asking his friends, what happened? They're like, you're at the hospital for observation right now. He doesn't remember getting dropped.
It was that kind of knockout, and that veteran Filipino was Eugene Lagos, who's a young veteran. I think he's 23 years old and kind of a spoiler type. But Lagos is a very strong fighter, walking forward all night. He was able to take the best punches of Sanchez and position himself for his power punches, and his best shot was the overhand right, and he landed it at just the right moment, 35 seconds into round two, just as Sanchez was loading up with his own right hand.
They're going back and forth, and first time he had ever been dropped ever in his life. After that, he took some time off and regrouped with his manager, Frank Espinoza, and decided he needed to change everything. He was with his longtime trainer, Manny Robles. They had a good conversation. They parted ways amicably. They said he and Manny still talk. They're good friends. He did a lot for him. They said it was time to change, so he left San Fernando Valley and went with Joel Diaz in Coachella. He said, I needed to move out of my house. I needed to grow up. He was working at Lowe's. He quit there. Actually, yeah, he was.
Nice right hand.
Yep.
Nice left hooks to the body from
Sanchez. And he's coming out super aggressive as Emilio Sanchez.
Right. It's like I don't see any doubts in his head. And that was the big question coming into this bout. What is the psychological impact of coming off your first, not only your first loss, but being knocked out cold in your previous bout? Martin so far has not been able to put forth enough of an offense and come strong enough to even create any doubt in Sanchez's mind.
That's one of the first questions we have of every young fighter after they get knocked out or even they lose for the first time. How's it going to react? Emilio Sanchez looking good here in the opening round.
Doesn't look tentative. He's not holding back. Actually, his form looks really sharp. Nice, good, crisp technique on all these power punches. That was a beautiful right uppercut that he landed, and he didn't admire his work. He landed follow-up shots to the body. And of course, Martin has been through rough patches like this before. This is a 12-year veteran with more than 40 fights. He's got 43 professional bouts under his belt.
So there's nothing new from Martin. He knows his role. B-side, come in. He's taking on every hot up-and-comer. And he's always game.
Including Gary Russell Jr.
Oh, yeah. The advice from Joel Diaz to Emilio Sanchez, don't throw too much, be patient. That's another thing you have to worry about a young fighter, right? Where they just want to come out so amped up, right?
Right. Like maybe he's trying to make up for something. And you wonder if that was the problem in the Lagos fight, because he had a pretty good first round, but he was extremely active. Maybe he overextended himself, offensively speaking.
And so he moved out of his parents' home, went to Coachella, lives in that camp house, a notorious camp house where 5, 6 different guys are there. His younger brother, Sal Sanchez, who fights for Thompson Boxing on the 24th. Young, nice-looking 118-pounder, so they're reunited. Every morning they're running together. So you have that sense of team. That his focus is all 100% on boxing. Not that it wasn't before, but when you live at home and there's siblings there and there's other people there, and you have to go to work, then in the camp house, all they do is talk about boxing.
Right.
And that's it.
At home, there are distractions. In a fight camp, It's 100% working on your craft and preparing for your next bout. And Sanchez usually has a nice jab and nice combinations and good inside punches, but his technique is sharper and it looks like there's more power on his shots. Yeah. Now, part of this equation is a veteran fighter, you know, who might just flat out be faded at this stage. But I like that Sanchez has taken the initiative and is not allowing the more experienced fighter to get started, to get any momentum going, to get warmed up. That's the worst thing you want to do with a more experienced fighter, is allow them to sort of fight themselves into some type of timing and rhythm.
And that's what Christopher Martin can do for himself. We've seen it in the past where you let him hang around and he can make it where he steals rounds from you, or he makes it into his fight.
And he's always been sort of a stick and move cutie. So if you give him time and you give him space, well, that's the time and room that he'll use to operate on you. He'll get moving around and start thinking about combinations and be really pesky in there. And Sanchez is not allowing that to happen.
Body shot, uppercut from Sanchez. Final seconds of the second round. Another good-looking round for young Emilio Sanchez against Christopher Martin at downtown Los Angeles at the Belasco. This fight was supposed to be between Emilio Sanchez and Kevin Rivers Jr.
Wow.
Who is out of the No Excuse gym. Sanchez moving up in weight for this fight. It was supposed to be there. Rivers pulled out. Rivers no longer with No Excuse gym. So he did. The reports were that he hurt himself, but he hurt himself, has a new gym, so he is not in. Christopher Martin took the fight on a week's notice.
That was a beautiful right uppercut, followed by a left uppercut. Christopher Martin's trying to land uppercuts of his own.
So Sanchez fighting at 125 tonight. He will go back down to 122 though.
Yeah, if he can make 122 safely, if it's not a struggle, that's probably where he belongs. He's bigger, and he's probably, his power has more authority at junior featherweight than at featherweight.
So this is one where his fight after getting knocked out, you get him to where he doesn't have to force himself too much on the body.
I'm almost shocked that Frank Espinosa would have okayed that his first fight after being knocked out cold would be against a fellow prospect in Rivers. Rivers is a good fight. He was a good amateur.
Yep.
Got an athletic boxing style.
Well, when you're 16-1,
it's true. You know what?
You
Sanchez has been a
eventually.
pro almost 6 years. He's been a professional since January of 2013. He has 16 pro bouts. At some point, you got to take the training wheels off, huh?
Well, as Roberto Diaz told me, not about these guys. He said Golden Boy isn't looking to sign any fighters right now. Sanchez stuns him with an uppercut.
That was a right uppercut.
Martin goes down. He was working those uppercuts, and you see Martin shaking his head like, he got me there.
Yeah.
Are you okay? Yeah, you stepped on me. Dude, you got hit with enough shots. Are you okay? You want to continue? Yes.
Reese keeps it real.
And Martin is an EMT. Emilio jumping in right away, body shot.
Hey, Emilio, he forced that opening. He created that opening with this offense, and he's been relentless all fight. Has not slowed down.
818, the kid snapping the jab. Martin trying to move around. Emilio smothering him on the ropes. Good shot from Martin. 30 seconds to go in the round. Emilio Sanchez looking strong in his first fight back after getting dropped.
Martin's getting punished. He's trying to punch back. He just can't get his footing.
There's 3 punches coming at him.
Exactly. The aggression, the pressure, and the accurate combination punching from Sanchez is not allowing Martin to be in this fight at all.
Another strong round for Emilio Sanchez. Let's look at the knockdown for the previous round.
Yeah, let's see if It was a dramatic knockdown. There's a right cross followed by a right uppercut. That's a beautiful combination. He misses with the hooks. Now he's getting uppercuts on the inside. It was a right uppercut, and I think he may have hit Martin in the eye, which caused him to turn into the ropes, and then an uppercut put him down in the seat of his pants. I didn't see if Sanchez stepped on Martin's foot or anything. Martin was trying to say the legs got tripped up. Reese wasn't hearing it.
His corner has told him, you got one more round. They told him you got to keep going. Jack Reese told him.
Yeah, and the commission is watching him very closely. They don't want him to get hurt.
And Jack knows Martin. He's fought all over California.
Yes.
They know each other. He said Martin is a EMT in San Diego. Has another career. It's a long minute, huh?
It seems like a long time, but in California, you stop the timer.
Correct.
When the ringside physician takes a look at you.
And then you see the time right at the bottom. She just sat down. 4th round. Emilio Sanchez looking strong. Christopher Martin, his corner warned him, told him, this is your last round if you don't defend yourself.
And that's fair. Tommy Wu says Emilio's looking strong at 125 pounds, and I agree. But I think it's not just the weight. I'm thinking the training that he got with the Diaz brothers is showing.
Wasn't that he didn't train hard with Manny Robles?
Oh, no. Manny makes you work.
Yeah,
but
worked.
I just know that the Diaz brothers are about boxer punchers. And they're going to have you sit down in your punches, and they're going to work on getting maximum leverage on every shot.
Like that one right there?
Yes.
And Sanchez has been in some battles with Oscar Valdez and Jesse Magdaleno and anybody in the Espinosa boxing clan.
That's great work. That's great
Joel
gym
Gonzalez,
work.
another one he works with.
That's excellent work. But I'm loving his form.
Yep. So keep this form when he goes to back to his normal 122. Another thing you notice, the high guard that he has today.
Yeah, and he's doing a good job of blocking most of the punches from Martin. Not that Martin has the time or space to really get off much, but the few shots that Martin has aimed at his head has been blocked. Martin, of course, keeping a very high guard himself, but Sanchez has figured out that he can split that high guard with the uppercuts, and that has been the punch of the night for him. I think that's been the key to his success.
Again, snapping back the head.
And did you see that? Martin was trying to tie him up, and Sanchez would have nothing of it. He just yanked his hand out and hit him with an uppercut.
And he gets hit with that right hand, does Sanchez. But nothing behind the power of Martin.
Yeah, Martin never known for his physical strength or his punching power. He's always been known as a ring-savvy cutie in there, who's got a lot of guts and a lot of toughness, a lot of heart, and we're seeing that on display right now. But what little power Martin brought to this contest, I think Sanchez has beat it out of his body with that body attack.
But Martin has a lot of heart. He's a professional. He's always game.
He really is.
But you're seeing a faded Christopher Martin against a young and hungry Emilio Sanchez. Just because you lose one fight doesn't mean your career is over. It's how you're going to react after that fight. And the indications, Emilio Sanchez has his head on straight through 4 against Christopher Martin. Fifth round in the main event. Beth Duran, Doug Fisher, and you all over the world watching Golden Boy Boxing, the monthly LA Fight Club, and it's been all Emilio Sanchez. He's in the green. That's Christopher Martin.
Martin is hanging in there, but I think the last 2 rounds he's taken a beating. Rounds 3 and 4, Martin is nailed with everything and the kitchen sink. The first 3 rounds, I think he was able to cover up and block a lot of those shots, but Sanchez wasn't just looking for the uppercuts. He was opening Martin up by landing to the body with both hands. And that's taken a lot from the punches and the stamina of the veteran fighter. But the spirit is still there. Hats off to Martin. I don't want to see him take too much punishment, though. He's taking a lot of shots to his ears right now. Beautiful left hooks to the body, followed by some rights to the midsection. Sanchez really working these hooks and crosses. I mean, it's a high volume attack on the inside, and he's landing these shots, and they're hard punches.
Jack Reese, let him know, show me something again.
Yeah, and it's not lost on Jack Reese. He's seeing it up close. He's hearing the impact of these shots.
See Martin breathing heavy again. Sanchez in front of over 50 friends and family that he has in attendance tonight, looking good and just breaking down Christopher Martin.
You can't break Martin's spirit, though.
No.
I mean, the thought of
Many
quitting.
have tried.
Yeah, the thought of just going back to his stool and remaining there, that doesn't even cross his mind.
No. Everybody's looking out for Martin.
Now, Martin's not thinking about Martin's safety once he steps. He's not an EMT anymore. Once he gets between those ropes, he's a fighter.
And Jack might
He's
be
a
looking in
gladiator.
real close as Emilio's loading up.
Well, that's what the referee's for. Protect these brave men from themselves.
Protecting himself, but he's not throwing anything as Christopher Martin. Keep the hand super high on that guard.
I'm impressed with Emilio.
Yep.
You know, prior to that knockout to Lagos, I thought Emilio had his best showing at StubHub Center. I forgot the name of the opponent that he fought. But this performance after a knockout, after a devastating KO, is by far his finest performance. Just in terms of his form, just in terms of his technique and his focus.
And it
I
is
think
over.
they're
They've stopped it. His eye was swollen. They asked him. Martin didn't fight it, and it's over. Emilio Sanchez gets the stoppage. Christopher Martin, he stands up, but it's fight's over.
Them uppercuts, though. There's the right uppercut. There's a left uppercut. 3 in a row as he swipes to the body. Lands a right uppercut from mid-range. Misses with the hook. See how he's not giving the veteran a chance to breathe. Not giving him room to operate. Martin is a boxer. A pure boxer technician. And the right move for Emilio.
Jack Reese se tiene las acciones al final del round número 5. Referee Jack Reese stops the fight at the end of round number 5. Declaring your winner by the way of KO victory. Su ganador por la vía del knockout, Pacoima, California, Emilio Sanchez.
Emilio Sanchez, who loves his dog Cookie, can go back and hasn't seen Cookie in a while. And he's going to go hang out with the dog and get his victory. 17 for Emilio